time.
On today's episode of Big Time, the podcast, you want to know what's big time? It's cold weather outside. And you know what? At some point, we're going to get some snow. And you may be asking yourself, Tom, where are you going right now with this? Hey, when the snow falls and you need snow removal, call our presenting sponsors, the Landscape Supply Center, the Russo Brothers, the boys with the toys for all your snow removal needs. But back to business. On today's episode of Big Time, we've got probably the best scorer that we've had on the show so far. Probably the best bucket getter on the show. I mean, she did finish as the state's second all-time leading scorer, only behind one Cindy Blodgett. How close was she to passing her? You'll find out today on today's episode of Big Time, the podcast with Van Buren's own Parise Rossignol. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another round of Big Time the podcast. Got a big time guest today. The reigning sixth woman of the year on the reigning America East Championship basketball team. Van Buren native Parise Rossignol in the building. Parise, how are you this evening?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
This is a big deal. It was perfect timing because we lined this up like a week ago. And then the Bangor Daily News just happened to have articles in the paper today about the women's team. And they mentioned you. And I didn't realize how many points you scored in high school.
Oh, yeah. A few.
Yeah. So they mentioned second all-time leading scorer. Is that just for girls or is that boys too?
It's both, yeah.
For boys, who's number one? Cindy?
Cindy Blodgett. She had 7 more.
Holy shit. That's it?
Yeah, if we would have won that Eastern Maine final.
That's crazy. But we'll dive into your scoring exploits in a little bit. Let's take it back. So Van Buren.
Yes.
We had your brother on, so we learned a little bit about growing up in Van Buren.
Mm-hmm.
You're the fourth in the line of 5 kids for the Rossinols, correct?
I'm third.
Third, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Three out of 4.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle.
All right. So by the time you came along, what's the age difference between you and Dom?
Dom is 6 or 7 years older than me. 7 years older than me.
All right. And then so pretty much like by the time you were born, like he was into sports and stuff like that. So he mentioned just traveling around with dad and going to games and stuff like that. Right away, like were you just thrown into basketball, or did it take you some time to kind of fall in love with it?
I pretty much liked it right away. Like you said, Dad was coaching since I was born, and I'd always go and watch the games. And he actually worked at Tiger Basketball Camp in Fort Fairfield.
Yes, shout out to Tiger Basketball Camp. Yeah.
So that was kind of one of my first experiences with basketball. I don't even know if I was in pre-K yet, and Dad brought me to that camp as like a participant. I remember I went one day and I was scared, so that year I didn't finish it off, but I just kind of fell in love with the game. The next year I went as a kindergartner, and that's kind of where it started.
I didn't realize like they had that young of an age bracket.
They didn't. They didn't. They just let me play because Dad worked there.
Yeah, your dad's a legend at Tiger Camp. I remember going to Tiger Camp.
Oh yeah, he's still working there.
All right, so you're from Van Buren, went to Van Buren High, but at the time, like when you were growing up, your dad was coaching Madawaska, correct?
Yes.
So was there any like loyalty issues there? Like were you confused? Like am I a Crusader? Am I an Owl? Like what am I? And then Dom transfers and goes to Madawaska?
That kept things interesting. I'm a Crusader at heart.
Okay.
I never wavered in that. But I remember when Dom was playing in high school, I really liked going to watch his teams. He played with like guys like Alan Campbell, Mark Siroa. I remember I used to love following them around and watching. But once I got to high school, I didn't like Madawaska anymore. So
yeah. So let's go back. So you loved basketball right away. You were into that. What was it like growing up? Did you guys have travel teams? Like, I know you got into AAU later on, I'm guessing, right? But at the young age, were you just like straight Van Buren teams? Just
yeah, we didn't have many travel leagues for younger kids. Yeah. So honestly, most of my playing came from like playing with my brothers. There was a good rec program, but it just stayed within Van Buren.
Right.
But yeah, just playing against like Dom and Derek, kind of growing up was kind of what made me become better because I was used to just getting beat on all the time. Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of that made me better for sure.
Did you have a close group of classmates that you kind of came up with? Well, I mean, Van Buren's small to begin with, so pretty much
Yeah.
like whoever you kind of start with, you kind of finish with, I'm guessing. It's not like people come and go.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it worked. In my class, there wasn't really anyone who liked basketball that much. They played, but they weren't super into it. For me, it was more the class below me. There was like 3 solid players who I kind of went through it with.
Yeah. And you guys just came out together and
Yeah,
that was that.
Yep.
Where do you guys work out in Van Buren? Like, because in Fort Kent, we got UMFK at least, so we got great facilities available to us at all times. Like, what do you guys do in Van Buren?
Well, there wasn't many options. It's an outdoor court,
Yeah.
like 10 minutes away. So sometimes there, but Dad always had the keys to the gym because he was the coach.
Oh,
so-
yeah, true. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got that going for you at least.
So that was nice. Anytime I asked him, he'd bring me. So
Yeah. Wait, you had the keys for Van Buren?
yeah, he was my coach.
Well, I know that, but I mean, like growing up, like when he was still coaching Madtown, did he have the Van Buren keys too?
You know what? I don't know. I don't remember. He might have because he knew the rec director and he could get us in whenever he wanted to. So
Okay, yeah, just get him wherever he wants. He's got that card.
pretty much, yeah. He's got the keys to the city.
Right, exactly. You playing other sports growing up at that young age, or was it always just straight basketball?
No, I loved all sports. I played soccer in the fall and then softball up until 8th grade, and then I switched to tennis when I got to high school. So I loved it all.
When did you get into AAU? Was it all once you hit high school? Nothing prior to that?
It's actually funny. A lot of people expect that I played a lot of AAU. I really didn't. I played in 6th grade and 7th grade. We had a little county team, some girls from Washburn, a few from Fort Kent actually.
Yeah.
But that was basically it. Went to like a few tournaments a year, but I didn't really do AAU.
And you also would have to travel your ass off.
Exactly. You have to travel so far.
Yeah.
So.
Were you doing any of the other basketball camps growing up? You mentioned Tiger Camp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what there are for like real basketball camps in the state. Like we had Pine Tree down, I think that was at Kobe. And we went to a team camp at Maine Maritime, like when I was in high school, but I don't know what there is on the girls basketball scene. I'm not too familiar with the girls basketball scene. I'm not gonna
that's
lie.
all right. We'll learn.
Yeah.
Honestly, there wasn't too much like around. I never really traveled that much for basketball, but Dad had a camp in Madawaska when I was growing up. And then he did when I was in high school, a varsity star camp for a little bit. It was short lived, but I went to that. So yeah, not too many actually.
Yeah. Tiger Camp. I remember Coach Gardner would always bring in somebody like a special guest to come and talk, and like usually like a player. You remember any of the people that showed up like while you were there? Like, was there anyone like, oh, like, yeah, like I want to be like them. I want to. Because when I was there, actually, your coach, Amy.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's
she came up with her dad.
Oh really? Yeah, Paul.
So that was like my like when I was in 7th grade or something like that. She was the one, and she went to like a dribbling exhibition and just like put on a show.
Really?
Yeah, we were like, wow, that's crazy.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember when I was at Tiger Camp, they always used to bring in a Maine player, which was cool because that was always like my dream to play there. So I remember Tana Ross. She's from Maine. I forget where specifically
I
from.
I think she's actually from Hamden. I think she's like, I think she's local.
Is she? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But so I remember meeting her there. We're still friends now, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I got to ask the question because sure seems like it might have been the case. Like, was the goal like how many points did Dad score?
2,257.
2,257. Was it ingrained in you at a young age? Like this is what you're going for, or
to beat Dad?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My dad is honestly the most competitive person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, I actually played with him just as much as I played with my brothers, and he always just was so competitive in everything, every shooting competition. So I think that really made me just, like, want to beat him. Not like out of spite or anything, but just, like, fun competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely one of my goals in high school.
I've only actually like seen your dad play pickup once, and like because I remember like I used to always talk to Coop and Clavette, like what was he like in practice? Like he would like play with the guys and stuff like that. He's like no, like he's usually just he doesn't really play anymore. Like he doesn't get into it. But when I was in college, this was probably like 2006 or 7. Your uncle was opening up the gym out in New Sweden.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And then we used to go play there. Like I don't know how we got it started, but it was like me and Wood from UMFK. Like we go out there, and he organized something. And it was just like 10 of us, and we go play there like on Wednesdays. And like 3 weeks into it, your dad showed up one time.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he played, and then he just busted everyone's ass. Like Sam,
that's
my little brother Sam came. And Sam was a senior in high school, I think, at that point. So he was all fired up, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to guard him. And your dad just destroyed him. It was like straight fundamentals. That's the only time I've ever actually seen your dad play.
That's funny. He still got a good shot.
Yeah. So, like, when did he actually, like, work you out, like, put you through drills? And, like, so how early did that start?
I started pretty early. I think I started to get actually like very serious about basketball when I hit middle school, so that was 6th grade.
Yeah.
And the thing with Dad, a lot of people think that he would like make me go do these things, but he always told us growing up, like, if you don't want to play, like, that is totally fine. So
Yeah.
he'd only take me to the gym when I asked.
Yeah.
It wasn't often. He's like, all right, come on, we're going. It was like totally up to me. So,
Mhm.
but I mean, I fell in love with the game, like I said. And in 6th grade, I kind of made the decision that, I wanted to play at the highest level I could, and
Yep.
so I'd ask him to go all the time.
How intense were the workouts at a young age? Was like, did he have it like structured? Like, all right, like we're gonna build you up. We're gonna start with fundamentals, and was it that type of thing, or was it just like you just get in the gym and like?
Yeah, it was more so just like get in the gym. He'd
Yeah.
rebound for me for hours, and
Yeah.
he'd make drills competitive, but yeah, just kind of wing it.
Yeah. So middle school, I'm guessing you guys traveled a little bit at least. Played some of the county teams.
Yeah.
Like, were you putting up numbers right away, even at that age? Because there's only one person I can ever think of. Because like on the national scene, like you hear about these kids, like, yeah, this kid's coming up, like once he hits high school, like, is he gonna be the best player in the country? There's only one person I can ever remember, like growing up, that I knew about when he was in middle school, and it was Mark Jacoby. Like, people were talking about Mark Jacoby.
Fulton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking about him like when he was like in 6th and 7th grade, and he was already
Mhm.
dunking, and like they were saying he was gonna be a problem. So I was wondering, like, for you, like, were you putting up huge numbers at a young age, and like people kind of knew that you were gonna be a problem once you hit high school?
Yeah. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Yeah. I mean, I did well in middle school too.
Yeah.
So.
What was your career high in middle school?
Oh gosh, I have to ask my dad. I guarantee he would know that. I have a horrible memory of those things, but I don't know, probably high 20s or something.
When did you? Because I've seen you play a couple times in high school. Like, it's the jump shot I remember. So like, when did you develop your jump shot? Because obviously at a young age you might develop some bad habits, and it may take a little while to get your jumper. But like your jumper has it always been just pure? Like, you born with the jumper?
It's actually kind of weird. It's actually the first time I ever shot a jump shot. It wasn't even planned. It was at Fort Kent.
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't really get my shot off, and I just did it naturally. I'm like, oh wait, this kind of works.
Yeah.
So I remember the next practice I went to practice, and I just told Dad, I'm like, I think I need to develop this jump shot, because a lot of times I was facing double teams, so it was kind of more difficult to create my own shot, and that's why I developed a jump shot. I had to find a way to score.
Right. Were you doing ball handling and stuff like that? Were you working on all that stuff at a young age, or did that come later on?
Yeah, I mean, all the fundamentals. I mean, if I asked Dad to go work out, he'd teach me what I needed to know: ball handling, shooting, all the fundamentals.
So growing up, you mentioned obviously your dad was the coach of Madawaska, because he used to follow those teams around.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anyone you actually looked up to? Because like, I know, like, I looked up to players that came before me in Fort Kent. Like, I can just rattle off names. Like, I remember watching this guy. They kind of influenced me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anyone like that growing up? Like, anyone you watched that just kind of influenced you, or?
In terms of like people that I actually watch, like probably Alan Campbell.
Yeah.
I don't know why. When I was a little kid, I used to love watching him on Dom's team.
Oh,
he was a
man.
good shooter. He was intense.
Yeah, but he wore the headband.
Yeah.
And he was goofy looking.
Headband.
I didn't care for him. I liked him afterwards. I didn't like him in high school, though.
Yeah, he's funny. I used to sit with him on the bus to the tournament game.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I was a little girl.
Yeah.
But growing up, I loved Ray Allen in the NBA.
Yeah,
He was
good choice.
my favorite player. I loved him a lot. So.
You mentioned riding the bus and going to the tournament. Like, what was your first Bang Auditorium experience as a fan?
The first one I remember, maybe I probably went before that. I think Madawaska played against Calais. They lost a close game. I remember Calais was really, really good. I think Dom was a junior.
Oh, yeah, like Brandon Toma and all those guys. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they were.
Those guys, yeah.
Those were good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first reaction to the auditorium? Were you like, oh, yeah, like, I
That's
gotta
cool.
get here?
Yeah, Bangor Auditorium is special. I still say, like I played one tournament at the Cross Center and 2 at the auditorium.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the auditorium. It's so cool.
That's what I tell people too, like, because I went there as a fan, like growing up, and I saw games. But like, to be a player, like in the way you come in, like through the back, and like they give you your credentials, and like you have your little badass
You're like
ribbon,
royalty.
yeah, and then you can kind of like watch the game before you play and stuff like that. And I was pumped. Like, that's one of the things I remember is my first time actually playing there was like just getting in the locker room. I was like, holy shit! Like, there's been so many guys that
It's
have been
real.
through
I'm here.
Yeah. Speaking of high school tournaments and growing up, were you the type to watch them on TV?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like every game.
You remember anyone that kind of stuck out, like from back in the day? I used to love watching the Class D tournament.
Really?
Yeah, because it always it was smaller schools and like it was just guys that you wouldn't think would be good and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Like the one name I always remember is Darius Park. I don't know if you know Darius Park.
I
He went to
don't
UMFK, but like he was from he played at East Grand, and like he just
Tore it up.
yeah, he's just like a small town Class D school and just yeah. So you remember anyone in particular?
Not. I think when I was in 8th grade, you know, Mitch Worcester from Washburn.
Yeah.
I remember. I think they broke like a 3-point record one year. That's kind of the only memory I have. But yeah.
And they had like 17 threes or something like that.
Yeah. I remember that.
When you would go to tournament games, were you the type to buy the little booklet, the little program?
Oh yeah, Dad did.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Every year. Oh yeah.
Is his name still in there? Does he still have some records?
He does. Yeah, he's got a few, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about getting to high school. So, you made the choice to go to Van Buren. Did you even ever entertain the thought about playing in Madtown?
I never even thought about it.
No?
No, I've always had so much pride for my hometown, so
Yeah.
it wasn't even a thought.
Does Van Buren have like I don't really know like the Van Buren basketball history. Like I know your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another guy too. Like he used to have some records. Like I remember his name being in the tournament books too. There was another guy from Van Buren. Like
Nathan Marquis, maybe.
yeah,
He was good, maybe.
yeah. But beyond that, like I don't really know the history. So like, does Van Buren have like a proud basketball history? I know like soccer, you guys have
Yeah, soccer's pretty
been
good.
consistently good.
Girls basketball, not really. I think they had maybe 2 state championships, at least one.
Yeah.
But no, not really. Soccer's kind of more Van Buren sport for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So freshman year of high school, was your dad your coach right away right from the jump?
Yeah, he was.
So
Yep.
is that his plan all along? He wanted to coach you? Or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was his plan. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Were you guys any good freshman year?
Yeah, we made it. Yeah, we were pretty good. We lost in a prelim by 2.
Yeah.
So that stunk. But we had a good record. I remember, I think it was my second game ever. We lost to the defending state champs in overtime.
Who's that?
Fairfield.
What? For Fairfield?
Yep, they won it the year before. So
You guys must have played a pretty decent schedule, like Class D basketball, especially in Canada. Like, there's a lot of good schools.
yeah, solid. Fort Fairfield, like I said, they won it before. Washburn, who won it 5 years in a row, starting my freshman year.
Yeah.
So they were good. We played Fort Kent, Madawaska, so
Yeah.
some Class C schools. Yeah, we played some pretty good competition.
Remember what your win-loss record was freshman year? I mean, probably like around 500 if you got.
We were over 500. I forget though. I don't remember.
So let me ask you this, because Van Buren, they must love their Rossignol. So your first home game, where people were like, all right, here we go. This is it. Was it a packed house? And
Yeah, there were quite a few people. I remember it was against Limestone. I
Yeah.
remember that one.
yeah,
Yeah, I was nervous.
yeah. What'd you do? Do you remember points and stuff like that
Yes, that's actually one of the few games I do remember.
All right.
I had 33.
in your first game?
Yep.
As a freshman?
It's fun. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So.
Let me ask you your opinion about the Van Buren gym. Do you like the Van Buren gym?
You know, I actually do.
Okay.
I do. It's pretty small, but I think I like it just because I grew up practicing in there. And I remember in middle school we played in like the crappy upstairs gym.
Yeah.
So like the big gym always seemed like so cool.
You don't like the lighting doesn't mess you up. Like it's like orange in there. I feel like it's like an orange haze in
it
there.
is. It's horrible for taking
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah. Like I feel like the lights are like orange and like the floor is orange and it's just like a huge like you just I don't know.
It is. They fixed it since then. I think
That's
they
what I
put in
heard
new
though. I heard
lights.
that they upgraded and stuff like that.
Yes.
What was you don't remember what your season high was your freshman year?
Not my
I mean,
freshman
you had to be putting up like just consistent buckets like from your game 1 of freshman year all the way through senior year. Like,
yeah, I mean, I scored a lot. But yeah, we had a good team.
when did the jump defenses start happening? Like when were people like just coming up and like, I'm guessing you saw boxing one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Pretty much right away, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Within like a few games,
Yeah.
people kind of figured it out.
Frustrating?
Yes. Yeah, but Dad was really good at coming up with just offenses and plays to kind of combat that. And I had players who were really good spot up shooters, so
Yeah.
that was good for them too. So.
Yeah. Let's see, freshman year, like, did you have, was there anyone that you kind of came up with, the same age group from other schools that you were looking forward to playing?
Other school, yeah, the Washburn girls.
Okay.
Kenzie Worcester, who still plays at Husson right now.
Yep.
Carmen Bragg, she was good. Nicole Olson. So we played AAU in 6th and 7th grade together.
Yeah.
So I knew they would be a really good team. So I really looked forward to playing them.
And they didn't lose a game for like 4 years.
Yeah,
right?
no, they were really good. They were good. We beat them a few times.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think we beat them twice during my high school career. Yep.
Did you go off? Guessing you just had a huge game.
Not bad.
That's another gym too. Like Washburn's got like a pretty small, tight.
Yeah, they got some interesting fans too.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I played I played a tournament there in middle school, and I just remember like being like, wow, like these are some pretty nasty fans. Like we're in middle school, but
I have a story from that my freshman year.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, so we're playing away at Washburn freshman year. It was a close game, which I don't think they expected. And people from their crowd literally started throwing pennies at me, and their athletic director had to go take the mic and like ask them to please stop.
You didn't kick them out? You just said stop?
Yeah, he just told them to stop.
Oh my god,
So,
nasty fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's the thing with like Class D. Like we don't have too many big schools in the county anymore, but like there's a couple like big gyms like Presque Isle, Caribou, Holton is a nice gym.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing like in a lot of the smaller gyms, smaller schools.
Oh yeah, Woodland. You ever seen Woodland's gym?
Have I been to Woodland? I don't think I've ever been to Woodland.
It is so small. Literally, like, actually, I didn't play there in high school. It was middle school. But when you cross half court, you're allowed to go all the way back to the other foul line because it's too small, like for backcourt violations.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's not high school though. That's middle school.
Yeah. What about do you guys play Easton?
Yes, the barn.
Yeah, they have a barn. Look at thing.
It's actually funny. That's the first place that Maine came to recruit me. It's the first place they ever watched me play.
Really?
Yeah, at Easton.
How early did the recruiting get started for you?
They started talking to me pretty much my freshman year.
UMaine did?
Yeah.
What about any other schools? Or any other schools coming to you at the same time too? Or?
Not really. I think I was too young, and I committed too young. Where I didn't. People always ask me like, "What other schools did you talk to?" Like, honestly, none.
Yeah.
Because I committed as a sophomore. So.
Sophomore. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's get into sophomore year then. So made a prelim freshman year, putting up points. Junk defenses started. People were throwing pen. You're getting like JJ Redick treatment.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Like I don't know. You're probably too young for JJ Redick and Duke, but yeah, you were getting just the treatment right away.
Yeah.
So did it get worse sophomore year?
No, not really. That's pretty much the height of it.
That was it? They shut it down real soon?
Yeah, well, in my senior year, it was pretty bad against Washburn in the playoffs, but that's all right.
What year did you guys make the tournament from? Did you make the tournament
My sophomore year, yeah.
So who would you guys play?
I think that was the year we played Hodgdon, and yeah, we lost by like 10 or something.
In a quarterfinal game?
Yeah. Yep.
What was the highlight of your sophomore year?
Sophomore year. Definitely committing to play at Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting the call. That was super exciting. I wasn't expecting it at
So
all.
they offered you a full ride sophomore year?
Yep.
Was it Coach Buren at that point?
Yep. That was Coach Buren.
No shit. Dream come true as a sophomore.
Crazy, yeah.
What were you doing in the off season? Like from freshman to sophomore year? Like, did you kind of realize or find things that you wanted to improve upon, or was it more your dad like we should work on this, or you should get better at this? Because not only was he your dad, he was your coach. So I'm guessing he said, I want you to probably come back next year like better at this, or add this. So like, what did you add? Like, what did you notice between like freshman and sophomore year, or sophomore and junior year that you needed to improve upon?
I think the main thing was just being able to create my own shot. I think that's the biggest thing that separates good players from like really good players. There's a lot of people who can take care of the ball, hit open shots, but I think being able to create your own shot really kind of brings you to that next level. So that's something I worked on a lot between those years.
Who were you battling in the off season?
Probably my brothers.
I was gonna say because I'm guessing like couldn't just get a run going like that. Like all right.
Definitely not. No, we didn't get to play pickup a lot.
I was gonna say so like summertime must have been rough. It must have just been like a lot of one-on-one work or like your brothers and stuff like that.
Yeah, my brothers. My cousin Jake Ryu, he was good.
Yeah,
too.
I remember Jake.
So I played against him. He played at Fort Kent actually, UMFK.
Yeah. When did you start beating your older brothers at one-on-one?
Oh gosh, I don't know if that ever happened. They just put me in the post.
Yeah, I can see that. They rough you up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
More so Andre actually, my younger brother.
Yeah.
When I got to high school, especially like junior and senior year when Andre started getting big.
Yeah.
Oh, he used to bully me.
Yeah. What year did Dom join the coaching staff?
I think he sat on the bench kind of since my freshman year.
At first, he didn't even have a role. He was just sitting on the bench.
Just there.
Yeah, just
assistant. Yeah.
shitting on the refs.
I think so, pretty much.
Yeah. So after you committed to UMaine, did you kind of feel the need to like prove yourself even that much more? Because I'm guessing like the girls come at you like, were they like, do girls talk shit? Like, were you getting trash talked and stuff like that?
You know what? Honestly, not that much. I remember just one girl from Fort Fairfield did. I won't name her, but
you can name her. It's all right.
No, I'm not gonna
You
call
made
her
it.
out.
You got UMaine gear on right now. You're still there, so.
Yeah, but I never retaliated.
No.
I'm not about that.
Yeah, so you went through some good teams going through high school then, because Van Buren or Fort Fairfield had a run. They had some good teams. Were they C or D?
They were D.
They were D.
Yeah.
And then Washburn was in the middle of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was good that you guys were playing at that time?
Hodgson
The
was good.
Valley teams weren't really good. Like Fort Kent wasn't really that good at that point. Madawaska, I don't think has ever been good.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who we played. The three main ones were Hodgson, Fort Fairfield, and Washburn.
And Hodgson was D back. They still D?
I think so.
I thought they bounced back and forth.
Yeah, who knows? They're one of those teams that they kind of bounce back.
In high school, were you the type to stay up late on Saturday nights and watch WAGN and what was like the fifth quarter or something like that? Didn't Reading have like a
Sports Extra?
Sports Extra, yeah. Were you watching highlights and stuff like that?
Oh, of course, I love that.
Yeah. So if you saw WAGM at your game, were you like, oh, I'm watching the news tonight?
Oh, of course. I wouldn't miss it. Couldn't wait for that.
When did Rennie Kluge first approach you for an interview? I'm guessing it happened at some point.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think I did a soccer one my freshman year.
Yeah, right away, right?
Yeah.
He was trying to get in there early. He wanted the inside scoop.
Oh, yeah, we became good friends.
Yeah. Junior year, get any better? Okay. Or were you guys pretty much at the same level all throughout your 4 years? Like, kind of middle of the pack?
My junior year, we were, I think, the number 2 team. So, yeah, we got a lot better, for sure. I think we had two losses my junior year.
And you said you kind of came up with a group of girls. You had like 3 or 4 girls that were the same age as you.
Yeah.
And they got better as you guys went along.
Yeah, they were good.
You guys make a tournament run that year?
Yeah, we made it to a semifinal. We lost to Washburn at the auditorium.
I was there. I was at that game.
We lost by 6.
Yes, I was.
Game they kept calling a travel on me in the Euro
Yeah,
step.
yeah. I was there. It was me and Woog, and we talked to the folks at UMFK, and we said we're there to recruit.
Oh, really?
And so we got to sit like in press row, and we're right next to Coach Buren.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yep.
Yeah, and I remember I leaned over at one point. I said, "Coach, if you don't want her, we'll take her." Because we had some UMFK stuff, and I think he just ignored me. He didn't even respond. So that was my one interaction with Coach Buren. So that was just a tough group of girls. Like you were like, it's like the Bulls and the Pistons. Jordan back in the day couldn't get past them.
Yep.
Timing. Washburn just had a really, really, really good team.
They were really good, yeah.
And they were good at soccer. Like,
they were good at everything. They were winning everything.
And they had a girl who was like one of the best cross country runners in the state.
Carson
too.
Koch.
Yeah. And she runs like D1 track or cross country.
Yeah, she went to Cedarville, which is like a smaller school, but she was like running at a D1 level for sure.
Unbelievable. At any point, did you stop playing other sports and just solely focus on basketball?
No, actually, I always loved all the sports. No, I never wanted to just focus on basketball.
Yeah.
I liked the time in the fall and the spring, getting to kind of mix it up a little bit.
What position you play in soccer?
I was a striker.
Striker, goal scorer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were you just a cherry picker? You just kind of
hung out? And I liked free kicks. Scored off some free kicks.
Yeah.
I liked crosses, headers.
Yeah. What's the better environment for Northern Maine High School sports? Like a under the lights soccer game in the fall, or packed small gym in a small town on a Thursday night?
I mean, they're both good, but I think definitely basketball at home when we play against Washburn. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'd get so many people come. Not even people from just Van Buren and Washburn, people from across the county that were interested in that game. So that was really cool.
You know what you're talking about? How freshman year people were throwing pennies and stuff at you.
Yeah.
And in Van Buren, I bet you for those Washburn games, your fans were saying some nasty things. You just weren't paying because it wasn't directed towards you, so you didn't know. But I'm telling you, Van Buren has got nasty fans.
I've never seen that side of them. Wow.
They've got some nasty fans. I don't think I ever lost in Van Buren though. I got that going for me.
There you go.
How about senior year?
Senior year, we're really good. We were either 1 or 2. I don't remember what seed. We might have been 1 actually. That's the year we lost in the Eastern Maine final against Washburn.
Just couldn't get past them.
Nope, couldn't get past them. They're too good.
They were good though, right? Because they got Mackenzie Worcester's at Hudson,
Yeah.
and then there's another one too at Hudson, I think, right?
Joan Overman.
Or Joan Overman, yeah.
Carmen Bragg played at Augusta, and then Carson Koch, who was unreal athlete.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, being swarmed by them was pretty difficult.
What was their coach's name?
Carlos.
Carlos, yes.
Carlos.
He was fun to watch. Like he was an animated coach.
He was something. He was leading the crowd chants.
Yeah, he was into it. I loved it. And then like they kicked him out though, right? Like he wasn't there like one of those years.
Yeah, they kind of chased him out of there.
It's unbelievable. He won 3 straight state championships, and they said no.
Yeah, yep.
And I don't think he's found a home since.
He coached. I think he still coaches East Grand.
Is he?
Yeah, Dad still coaches against him.
What was it like playing for your dad as a coach?
It was fun. Some people think that if your dad coaches you, it might take it easier on you. But if anything, I think it was the opposite because he never wanted to act like he treated me like different because I was his daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anything, I think he was harder on me.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. I mean, me and my dad are really close, so to have him as a coach for 4 years was really awesome.
And then what was it like having Dom on the bench?
That was fun. I mentioned to you before we started recording this that I think Dom is like my biggest fan, and he was like that in high school too. So to have him on the bench was nice.
Yeah, he was saying that all he tried to do was get you calls and work the refs and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
he would
that.
work them for sure.
Yeah. How much of an offense did you guys actually run, or was it pretty much just come down and?
It was mostly high ball screens.
Yeah.
Set a high ball screen and see what happens. If I can get to the basket, pull up jumper, or dish it off to one of my shooters.
Did your scoring kind of increase year to year, or were you just super consistent all throughout?
It increased a little bit. I think my freshman year averaged either like 25 or 26, and then my senior year 30. So it was
just consistent.
Yeah, pretty consistent.
At what point were you aware where you were at, total point wise, and all that stuff?
Kind of my sophomore year, once I started to get close to 1,000.
Yeah.
I was made aware of that, and then senior year when I started to get close to Dad's record. Well, I got my 2,000 first, and everyone started talking about Dad's record. If I was going to get that, so I was always aware, just because there were always like milestones coming up: 1,000, 2,000, Dad's record, then Cindy's record.
Yeah.
So
that was the goal from day one.
To beat Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you weren't thinking Cindy initially, right?
Oh, I never thought that would be in reach.
What's your dad have? 22, you said?
2,257.
So it's about 400 points difference between Cindy and your dad.
Yeah.
Is your dad number 3 in the state all time?
I don't know. No, because I remember Mitch Worcester passing him, and there might have been one other guy.
Yeah.
I think.
So after you passed your dad, were you like, all right, I'm going for Cindy now?
I honestly never even thought about Cindy at all because I didn't think it was attainable. I just remember, I think a few games before it was brought to my attention, like before my last game ever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, like I didn't realize I was that close.
Yeah.
So no, it's not really something I thought about.
What game do you remember the most? Just absolutely being in a zone in high school.
You know what? It was always against Fort Kent because they refused to do junk defenses.
Yeah. Was it Coach Murphy?
Yeah. They always did straight up man.
Old school. Yeah.
Yep. They refused.
Yeah.
So
and they weren't very good, and I think they were very short at that time. Like everyone was like 5'6", like just across the board.
Yeah, they had a few. Sam Carapellucci.
Yeah.
She was solid. She was pretty big, but he refused to do any sort of special defense. So.
It's a great gym too. Like Fort Kent is a great gym.
Yeah.
Great lighting.
I liked playing there.
It's a great gym. It's the shooter's gym.
Yeah, my career highs against them at home though.
How much?
49.
49 points.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
It would have been 50, but when my teammates had a lane violation on free throw. I'm still mad at her to this day about that.
Were you ever aware, like in games, like were you aware how many points you had at that point?
No, I honestly never really.
Just afterwards you found out?
Yeah, I never really paid attention.
Yeah.
No, just played.
We talked about Rennie Kluge, icon. We should get Rennie on the show. We gotta talk to my guys to get Rennie. Yeah. St. John Valley Times is iconic and legendary as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I used to always love. I'm not gonna lie. I'd go check my stats in the paper the next day. But I used to love when the St. John Valley would come out. Go read the read-ups. Maybe see if I had a picture in the paper and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Were you excited about that stuff too? Were you all about it? Were you reading Bangor Daily News? Like, oh shit, yeah, I'm in the paper.
Yeah, I used to read it online, but my grandmother used to get the paper copy, and she always used to cut out everything I was in. She'd bring it over, so I couldn't wait when she would do that.
Yeah. Scrapbooks, old school.
Oh yeah, I got all those.
At what point did obviously like leading up to college, were you ever interacting with people at UMaine, some of your teammates to be? Like when did that interaction start happening, or like when how soon could Coach Buren start talking to you and stuff like that?
They couldn't actually like talk to me until my junior year unless I would call them. I think the rule was something like that. They could talk to my dad just because he was my coach, which worked out.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they went through him to kind of talk to me indirectly.
Yeah.
But it was my junior year that I could actually like talk to them whenever.
Did any other schools? So probably no one else even bothered recruiting you if you.
No, because I committed so early. I didn't.
So you didn't get to enjoy like the whole recruiting thing. Like,
enjoy it now.
You didn't get to enjoy that.
I'm not mad about it.
No. So like we don't have any stories to tell about people like giving you gifts.
No recruiting
like,
stories.
Because like I told you earlier, like I want Big Time to break like a big time story. Like I want to be able to break a huge story.
You're not gonna get it.
All right, we'll have to maybe your dad. We'll get your dad on. Maybe he has some recruiting stories from back in the day.
Maybe.
I want to break something big. So what year did you graduate?
2014.
2014. Did you go straight to Orono as soon as you graduated, or did you stay up home for the summer? Or
I was at Orono for 3 weeks during the summer. All the freshmen have to go for 3 weeks, and you take 2 classes to kind of get ahead, and you work out with the coaches and stuff.
What was that like? I'm guessing it was a little bit different. Some better facilities, right?
It was a lot different.
Yeah.
Just the intensity level, the stuff they put you through. I was used to like practicing to my comfort level. Like I practiced a lot, but I never really like pushed myself past my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I found out real quick that I was gonna be pushed past.
I was gonna say because like I mean you kind of came up like worked out when you wanted to. I mean you worked out a lot and stuff like that, but you didn't have the competition to push yourself against or to like challenge yourself. And so like I'm guessing like just the conditioning level and attention to that.
Waking up at 6 a.m. to go do it too.
Yeah.
That's something I was used to.
Yeah. So that was the biggest adjustment right off the back, or the first thing you noticed, like wow, like this is different.
Oh yeah, it was so different. Just the intensity level.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So in between high school and college, did you go work? You would have had to go back to Tiger Camp at some point. And
oh yeah.
So when did that happen? Was that a dream come true? It had to have been a dream come true.
As everything coming full circle.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was I started working there my freshman year of college, going into my freshman year of college. Right. So yeah, I was like the person they advertised as like the UMaine basketball player. I'm like, wow, I used to love this when I was a kid.
Yeah. So were you the one like? Did you have like a little segment? Like, did you have your own?
Oh yeah, I was like I gave a lecture.
What was it about? Defense.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I taught them how to play good defense. Yeah. No, just my story growing up. You know what it takes to play at the Division I level, that kind of thing.
Did your dad write it for you, or did?
No. It's all me.
Speaking of defense, though, I'm guessing like that was a big change too, because like in high school, like it was go get buckets. I'm guessing it wasn't. Dad wasn't like go lock down her.
Oh yeah, that was a huge change. In high school, we never played man to man.
Yeah.
I sat at the bottom of a 2-3 zone. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's basically here's your time to rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, in college it was a lot different. In high school, a lot of times I'm not facing that many girls who are more athletic. I mean, sometimes, but when you get to college, basically everyone's more athletic and stronger than you, so it's different. The
team you came into, it would have been 2014, 2015?
Yes.
Coach Buren was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he gradually built that program up.
Yeah, he did a great job.
So by the time you got there, where were they at, Nick? Because what was it? Liz Wood?
Liz Wood, yep.
She was there. She was solid.
Liz Wood, Sigrid Koitzer.
Yeah, and they had some really good teams where they were kind of like I think they got to a couple championship games, conference championship games, right? And just couldn't push through.
Yeah, so my freshman year we won the regular season. We were the number 1 seed.
And that was like the first time like Maine kind of came back and was.
Yeah, that was the first year. Yeah, the year before I think they finished like 4th or 5th in the conference, and then the year I got there, we finished 1st. Got upset by Hartford in a semifinal. So yeah, that was tough. We were expected to win it all. It was us and Albany at the top of the conference. Yeah. Every year that I've played at Maine, that's how it's been. Us and Albany.
Ziggy, she intense.
Siggy, she was so good. That girl, she works harder than anyone I've ever met.
And she's like the crazy thing too is like she was an exchange student. Like she went to where she went to Stearns or something like that. Yep. That's crazy. And then is that how she got noticed and got recruited to go to UMaine? Like was it during your time with Stearns?
Yep.
Worked out well for her.
Oh yeah, she was so good.
I'm guessing in practice like she was just all out. I kind of think of like Patrick Beverly, like just like one of those. Just plays hard though. Like yeah.
Always. She's always just going 100%.
So she was So it's her. She wasn't the same age as Liz, though, right?
No, she was a year younger.
So what was Liz's class? I feel like Liz's class
She
had.
was 2 years older than me.
Yeah, and Liz had some other girls same age. Like that graduating class. Who else was in that class?
There were 8 of them. It was her, Michaela Gustafson from Sweden, Sophie Weckstrom, Anna Heisa, Lauren Bodine, Chantel Charles, Bella Swan, and Millie Mitrovic.
That's who it is. And like they all kind of came. Well, yeah, like that group was the one that kind of
they came
up.
together. Yeah, Bella transferred in from JUCO in Utah. But those 7 and then her, they all came up through it together.
The adjustment from getting 2,500 points in high school to maybe not getting any playing time at all. I'm guessing it was an adjustment.
It was definitely an adjustment. I mean, my entire life I was used to playing basically every single minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we were really good in my freshman year, so I mean, it's kind of hard to complain.
Yeah.
I still had a lot of fun. Anytime you can be the top of a conference at a Division I school, it's pretty cool.
So like, was that always your goal? Was I just want to go play at the highest level, and not necessarily I don't care if I play, I just want to get there, or were you thinking I want to get to the highest level where I can play? Were both important to you, or did you just want to get to the highest level?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who would say that they don't want to play would be lying, especially when if you want to play at the Division I level, I mean, I think you take the game pretty seriously, so you want to play. It was definitely the goal to play. I understood why I didn't my first 2 years. We had a super veteran team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no complaints here about that. But, it was difficult, but it was fine.
Road trips, a little bit different on
Yeah.
a D1 team than Class D girls basketball. What were some of the places you guys went to your first 2 years?
It's actually funny. I had never been on a plane until my freshman year of college. We flew to South Carolina to play in a tournament against UNC, against North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go? You guys play? Oh, you didn't play in Chapel Hill. You played in South Carolina.
My freshman year, we played in South Carolina against them. We lost by like 20, I think.
Yeah.
But then, probably the most heartbreaking game of my career, my sophomore year, we played at Chapel Hill.
Almost beat them.
They beat us. We were up 2, and they hit a 3 at the buzzer.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the Dean Dome?
We actually didn't play in that.
Oh.
We played in the one where MJ played.
Like Carmichael or something like that.
Yeah,
Carmichael Auditorium or something
We actually
like that.
went to the men's game though the night before or after, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that place is crazy.
Nice, right? I've been there too. Unbelievable.
So nice.
Yeah. The thing I like about just ACC country is like basketball is everything down there, and they treat their gyms like museums, like it's open to the public.
Yeah.
You can go there anytime and like walk around and stuff like that.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Tough lot. I remember that. Like I remember seeing it on Sports Center. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
I did make top 10.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Yep, we're playing there again this year.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, at Chapel Hill.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your sophomore year, once again, got to a conference championship game, right?
Yes.
And
yeah, we lost by 1.
that was another tough loss, right? Yeah.
By 1 to Albany at their place.
Yeah.
So that was tough.
And then made a decision to step away for a little bit.
Yeah.
So what went into that? What was that all about?
I mean, there's kind of a lot that went into it, but ultimately I just wasn't really having fun anymore. It was more of a burden on me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on outside, but yeah, I just knew that was at that point going to be what was going to make me happiest. So it was a hard decision, but I knew it was the right one.
You ever think about transferring and going to play somewhere else at that point?
Not initially. Initially, I thought I was done and just going to finish up school and then go be an adult.
Yeah.
But towards like the end of that year, and like watching Maine in the tournament, I was like, man, like I really miss this. Like you only have so long to play these organized team sports. So I knew I wanted to play again. So I visited 2 schools actually. I visited Husson. Turns out they didn't even have my major. So I found that out when I was visiting.
What was your major?
It was secondary ed, which they had, but they didn't have social studies.
Okay.
And then I visited USM. Rachel Burns, who played at Maine, she kind of tried to get me to go visit there, and so I did. But that's actually how I got the offer to come back to Maine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so to talk to other schools, I had to get a release from our program, so I went to go talk to Coach Vachon about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think she knew that I was interested in playing again. So when I asked her for that, she obviously knew I was interested, and just kind of stemmed from there, her asking me to come back.
So you took a whole year off, though, right? And you were still enrolled at UMaine.
Yep.
Were you playing in the rec center?
Oh, yeah, I was playing intramurals. I won a championship.
Did you? Let me tell you a story about UMaine intramural. I've been banned from UMaine
No way.
Because, one, I never went to UMaine, but I had a friend who did, and he was in intramurals. And I had a buddy who I went to college with. His name was Big Dave, 6'9", dude from Florida, looks just like Dwight Howard. can dunks like Dwight Howard, all that. Anyway, we came down to Bangor for a weekend, and he said, "Yeah, I got a playoff game tonight. You guys should come play in the meals with us." So we did, and like we murdered this team, and then they wound up ratting us out, saying we didn't go to school there, and I'm barred from the field house.
Really?
Yeah.
They played intramurals at the field house then?
Back then, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I forget the New Balance center is new.
Also, the highlight of my basketball career also stems from the field house in UMaine.
Really?
Because when I first lived down here, this was back like in 2007. I also dropped out. I took a break from school, quit basketball, and I dropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I moved to Bangor to get my life together. But I used to go out to UMaine just to shoot around and stuff like that. And I was in the field house one day just shooting, and then I forget who the assistant coach was at the time. She walked up and she's like, "Hey, do you want to be on the women's practice squad?"
Oh, you're on the scout team?
Yeah. And I was like, "Yes." I think the first question I asked her was, "Do I get gear?"
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "Do I get practice gear?" And she said, "Yeah." And she's like, "You just got to fill out some insurance forms and stuff like that, like liability." And I was like, "Oh, I don't go to school here."
So you couldn't do it?
And she said, "I can't do it."
Cut ties.
Yeah. And then
you
like
get free shoes when you do that.
I know, like that's all I wanted. And then like as she was walking away, I saw Sydney Blodgett. Like that's when she was a coach, and I saw Sydney like walk behind the back. I'm like, "That's Sydney Blodgett." That's Sydney Blodgett.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that would have been the highlight of my career, and it didn't pan out.
Oh,
But
that's too bad. I love our scout guys.
yeah, you know Matt DeShane from Madtown?
Yeah.
He was a scout guy.
Oh, was he?
He has fond.
Actually, I remember hearing that.
He's got fond memories of his. That's the highlight of his basketball.
Yeah.
career.
You made scout team.
Yeah. So you came back last year,
Yes.
and a much different team.
Yes.
So that group of all those girls, they all left, and Ziggy wasn't there last year, right?
Nope, she graduated.
So it was a whole new team,
Mm-hmm.
and
It was only Maddie McVicker that was the same teammate, and Kirsten Johnson. Who was
Yeah.
the same
did you kind of get an idea that like I'm gonna get minutes this year, or
I really didn't know what to expect. At the end of that year, I took off. Since they had so many people transferring out, KJ, who was on the team, had asked me to come play pickup with them. So I was playing pickup, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. So, I mean, I kind of had an idea that I could be successful, but I really didn't know what to expect going into it. Yeah.
and different coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was my assistant my first 2 years.
So you already had a relationship with her.
Yeah, I had a good relationship with her.
So you probably never saw her play back in the day, right?
No, I haven't. I've heard all the great things, but
Yeah. And you're actually the second. I was thinking about like how many people from Northern Maine have like gone and played D1 basketball, especially Class D.
Yeah, I know.
From the Valley. And I was like, wait, there is someone else, Tracy Gret.
Yeah, Tracy. She was on our staff too, my freshman year.
Yeah.
Yep.
You ever played? Well, did she play with you guys at all?
She never played with us, but I'm actually really close with Tracy.
Yeah.
Even now.
And she still lives around here. I still see her at Planet Fitness from time to time.
Yep, crazy runner.
Yeah,
Holy.
yeah. Like I'll see her because she does the marathon stuff now.
Yeah.
Like in the wintertime, like she runs in Planet Fitness, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
she's good.
so came back, started getting playing time, and things worked out a lot better last year, right?
They definitely did. Yeah, I started the first half of the season and came off the bench second half, and we had an incredible year. We were preseason ranked number 6.
Yeah.
No one knew what to expect because Siggy graduated and we had 5 people leave.
Yeah.
So no one knew what to expect, and we ended up winning the whole thing, finally getting over that hump, and it was crazy. It was nice.
So you mentioned the transition to 6-man, and I mentioned in the beginning, reigning 6th woman of the year. Were you kind of like a little disappointed initially when that conversation was had, like we're going to start bringing you up the bench, or did you kind of embrace it?
Not really, because the person who was starting and who slid into that role was Julie, and she had an awesome non-conference.
Didn't she just bail? Didn't she transfer?
She bailed, yeah. she's at Utah now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to play in a bigger conference, but yeah, she was really good. So I had no problem. I was still getting a lot of minutes. I averaged like 22 minutes a game coming off the bench, so I was happy with that for sure.
And tell me about the home environment at the insurance center, because I've been to games early in the year, and it seems like the crowds kind of pick up as conference play gets you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I was there for the conference championship game. I don't know what it's like on the floor, but in the crowd it's pretty electric. Like what's the environment like?
Oh, it's so cool. I'm not sure. This might be wrong, but I remember hearing that we have the second highest attendance in New England behind UConn.
Hey.
Yeah, so we have an awesome crowd. Everyone that comes to play against us here, they know it.
Yeah.
During the championship game, I was actually guarding a girl, and she like mentioned it. She's like, wow, like your crowd is loyal.
Yeah.
So like other teams notice that.
Yeah, like I'm guessing like you travel, like you play in these other gyms, and
Yeah, sometimes they're empty.
Exactly.
At UNC, there was like no one there.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's a top 25 program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're lucky to have that kind of crowd support.
All right, so let's talk about this crowd support because I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Okay, because as I said, I proudly used to sit courtside for every home game. Those seats are a little bit more tougher to get now, so now I'm in the general section. But attendance is good. But I feel like people sit on their ass too much, and they just watch, right? Like you can't get a defense chance going. People aren't standing up.
I know, it's rough.
So,
the seats are too comfy.
Too comfy. But you know what? You look around though, and it's like an older fan base. I feel like it's a lot of older folks. I mean, I'm glad they're coming out, but sometimes there's no energy in there.
We talk about that a lot. A lot of our fans are old. There's people who have followed the program forever.
Yeah.
Like. We're glad to have them there. This year we're actually trying something where we like recorded videos of us like leading chants to put on the big screen.
Yeah.
so hopefully that might work. Get them out of their seats a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I'm not the only one who notices it then.
Oh no, we notice it. We talk about it.
Another question. I'm just nitpicking.
That's all right.
The program. Why New Balance?
Oh.
All I want is like some nice Nike Maine gear. I can't wear Maine gear anywhere because like I don't want to wear New Balance. I'm sorry.
Well. No, they give us some good gear, but the nice thing is, my freshman year, actually, Coach Buren tried to get us to wear, they didn't make basketball shoes my freshman year, so he ordered us all New Balance tennis shoes, because they were technically court shoes.
What?
But we wore those for like 2 practices, and we're like, yeah, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
So now I think we have like a partial deal with Nike. We can choose.
I was going to say, for a little bit, I thought I saw like Nike shirts and stuff like that. They're tough to find.
The men had Nike before Coach Buren took over.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Did he change it?
Yeah, they're back to New Balance.
Oh man.
He's loyal to New Balance.
Oh my. Well, they are
good. I mean, they're our sponsors. So.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. They give us some alright gear. Like I said, the shoes, we can choose any pair of shoes we want online. So
this is gonna come out probably like in about a month or so by the time we put this up and stuff like that. So the season's gonna be well into it. But what are some of the highlights of the schedule this year?
Duke at home. That's definitely a highlight. That's going to be fun. We played at their place last year. Coach Palumbo coming back. That's going to be huge for Maine. They loved her. They still love her, so her coming back. They're actually, one of Coach Vachon's teammates just passed away from cancer a few months ago, so they're making it like her night.
Oh.
So a lot of like alumni are coming back for that. So that'll definitely be a highlight. Playing at NC State, UNC, it's going to be cool.
Is that all the same road trip?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna play Carolina and then NC State on that road trip. Yep. We're going to Green Bay. They're a tough team. We have a pretty tough non-conference schedule again.
Yeah.
Some good teams. But
You guys were picked number 1 preseason, right?
yeah, unanimous.
We're gonna get another championship this year.
I hope so. That's the plan.
All right. That's
That'd be nice. Right off into the sunset.
Yeah. So actually, we could talk about that too. So you guys won the tournament last year and went out to the NCAAs, went down to Texas.
Yep.
Got beat.
Yeah, we got beat.
We'll just say that. What was the biggest difference there? Because you guys, you guys have played like nationally ranked teams in the past. I mean, we talked earlier about you guys played Mississippi State. They came up here. You went down there. North Carolina, Duke, stuff like that. Yeah. So what was the biggest difference like versus that Texas team? Was it just the environment? Were you guys just like, okay, like we made the tournament, like this is what we wanted, like we're just happy to be here? Or what was it?
I mean, honestly, going into it, like we thought we could pull an upset. Texas, not a great matchup for us. We're not like a huge team. We don't beat teams by our size or like athleticism.
Yeah.
Texas was just huge. Like we play teams that have big girls, but usually there's some that are like all right.
Yeah.
They're all like at least 6 feet. Yeah. Like every guard they have. So yeah, we couldn't rebound. We actually set a tournament record for least amount of rebounds.
Oh really?
In an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I watched it. I did, and then I kind of tuned it out.
Yeah, I understand.
Texas has my favorite player in the country last year, though, Britt McCarty. I'm a huge fan.
Oh yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
she's small. She wasn't big.
Yeah,
she's good.
I like her. She's good.
The Atkins girl who's in the WNBA.
Yeah,
she was tough. She's good.
Yeah, just a different level. What do you think of that gym? Because I've been there too. I've been to.
Have you?
I've been to a game at Texas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I loved it. It was cool.
Did it smell? It smelled in the stands. They had like
really. No.
See, I have all these different like opinions and stories because I'm always in the bleachers and you're on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Now it's a nice court. It's cool to see. You look up.
It's big. It's I'm guessing one of the bigger gyms you guys have played in.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant's name up there is pretty cool to see.
What'd you think of playing at Cameron?
That was awesome.
I've been there too.
Have you really?
I've been to Cameron too.
Did you go to like a men's game?
No, I walked in. I was there in the summertime. I just walked in.
I want to go to a men's game so bad.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
Cameron was awesome. That was a dream come true, really.
Yeah.
That place is so just historic.
It is, and it's like just the style of it, like the Gothic art, like the campus itself. Like, it's not a very big campus, but just the look and feel of everything.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And then Coach K was around.
Oh,
they had
really?
practice right after us. Yeah, we didn't get to like talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it was really cool. I wish we would have played a little better.
Yeah.
We played. Oh my gosh, we shot so poorly, me included.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about my performance at Duke.
Yeah.
But
you got a chance to make up for it.
Yeah, exactly. Weeks. There's no way we'll shoot as bad. I think we were like 4 for like 42 from 3.
You guys just opened up the season last week, right? Or I don't know if that was considered a...
Yeah, it was an exhibition against Stonehill on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good crowd?
Not bad. For an exhibition, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 1,300 or something. Not bad. I couldn't play that game, actually.
How does the UMaine women's team treat the men's team?
How do we treat them?
Yeah.
We're good friends with them.
Are you?
Yeah, we're tight with them.
Okay.
We hope they can turn around. I hope Coach Buren could do to their program what he did to ours, because
he's kind of going the same pathway. He's recruiting on like a lot of
overseas.
Yeah, it's kind of the way I think it's a smart approach because Orno's not the most
exactly. It's hard
attractive.
to get good American players to come here, so I get it.
Yeah. But, I mean, you did what you did with the women's program. You build it up to the point where you're competitive and you're winning. And then if you got a winning program,
then it's easier, definitely easier to attract people.
Absolutely. Highlight of your basketball, because this is a little bit different because everyone that I've interviewed is like done. They're all washed up now. You're still
I'm still going.
Yeah. So, highlights so far, what would be the ultimate highlight to go out as a senior?
Well, so far, the highlight... I mean, definitely winning the championship. But the most fun game I've ever played in was against Albany last year. It was the final regular season game. We both had the same record. So the winner got the number 1 seed, which is huge because if you both win out, the number 1 seed gets the home game for the championship.
Yeah.
We were down 16 in the fourth quarter at home. And our best player fouled out with like 8 minutes left or something like that.
Yeah.
So it looked like we were dead in the water. We came back and won that one in overtime.
Yeah.
So that's the most fun game I've ever played in. The crowd was electric for that.
That was at home?
Yeah. Yep. That was so fun.
God, I missed a lot of games last year. I got to get some more games this year.
The crowd was actually loud. Everyone was out of their seat.
Nice.
It's the loudest I've ever heard it in a game that I've played in.
Yeah, even louder than the conference championship.
Yeah.
Although when you guys made your run in the conference championship game, like the crowd was standing up and...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like they knew, like, all right.
They knew.
We got this.
They knew what was happening.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then ultimate... ideal way to end your college career, I'm guessing same thing, win the conference, go to the national tournament.
If it was up to me, definitely win the conference, but last year I think what hurt us is there were some games that we could have won that would have like given us a better seed.
Yeah, because what do you guys go in as, the 15?
Yeah, 15. And it's tough to win,
yeah.
Against a top 8 team in the country. There's some games we should have won, like Toledo, we lost in overtime. We even played Ohio State pretty close, Miami, we lost by 10. So if we can like get over the hump and win those games, get a better seed, that would be nice. That's the goal this year, I think, would be like a 13 seed, 12 seed. And they'll be tough, but to get an upset. I mean, Albany did it a few years ago.
That's true.
So it's definitely not impossible.
The thing I like about this interview is I get to ask you questions that I've never been able to ask anybody else because you're like the only one like D1, you're currently still playing. What was it like on tournament selection show with ESPN cameras in your face? Where'd you guys even go? Were you guys at Seasons?
No, we went to the Alphon Lounge.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why Seasons came into my... What was that like? Just cameras? Is it awkward? Like, do you guys have your stuff choreographed? Like, all right, when they point to us, we're going to do this. Or like, this is going to be our celebration.
That's funny because we didn't really know what to do. Coach Vashon told us, she's like, okay, well, so when I did it, after they announced it, just cheer really loud. Because we're like, what do we do? Like, yeah, it was crazy. It really was surreal, just like watching us live on ESPN. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Dream come true.
Yeah, for sure.
From small town Northern Maine.
Yep.
Made it.
It's crazy.
You mentioned your major, so what's the plan here once you graduate?
I have my degree in secondary ed social studies. Right now I'm working towards my master's.
Oh.
So kind of following in Dad's footsteps, honestly.
You gonna coach?
Yeah.
You gonna coach in Van Buren?
Maybe not Van Buren. We'll see. I don't know. I'm open to whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely stay in Maine.
Yeah.
But
you want to go back home or don't know yet?
I don't know. Maybe not right away. I like this area. I like the Bangor area.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Good basketball scene too.
Yeah.
You can find a coaching gig here.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know.
Well, look, what I want to do is when this podcast kind of blows up and we go to phase 2, is I want to start my own AAU program called Big Time something. Big Time AAU, Big Time Ball, something like that.
I'll be on that.
Need a coach.
All right, you let me know.
So, and then AAU, like, it's dirty. You got to recruit. You gotta get players to come in. I think you could help us out with that.
All right, let's see. As long as I'm not like that. You see that Woodbury guy?
Yeah.
As long as you're not like that.
Yeah, no, I won't be like that. So we do have a couple segments on the show. We're gonna get to one of them right now. It's like the one serious segment of the show. Mm-hmm. It's called When You Die.
Oh gosh.
What jersey do you want to be buried in when you die? So you have a couple ones. You could pick Van Buren, the Crusader. I don't know what your colors are. Yellow, white, and is it blue?
Yep.
Navy.
Yep.
Navy. So you
used to be Royal. They changed.
Okay.
At some point.
So you can go with that one, or you can go with UMaine.
That's tough.
It's tough.
Well, I have 2 different UMaine ones. I have number 22 my first 2 years, and then number 12.
Okay.
You know what? Probably my number 12 Maine, because it was a great experience, obviously winning championship, but also that's the number my dad wore at Maine.
Oh.
So it kind of has more meaning there.
Okay.
So.
You could have also picked your Tiger Basketball Camp staff shirt. Or
Staff
whatever.
shirt. Yeah, that's a close second.
Yeah. Can't go wrong there. We also have another segment. I don't know if you know. Well, you probably know some of the bards. Big Brother Charlito has a segment called Charlito Wonders, in which he asks just really, really tough questions. If I could find where he put it. Here. All right. Actually, I forgot to mention Charlito Wonders, brought to you by, we actually have a sponsor.
You have a sponsor.
Rock's
Nice.
Family Diner in Fort Kent, Maine.
Nice.
Yep, they
sponsor.
sponsor.
Actually,
This is disappointing.
I've
right
heard
here.
about it. My friends in Fort Kent tell me it's great.
Oh,
I've never been.
Next time you're in Fort Kent. Charlie, what is your question?
Yo, what up, Parise? It's Charles out here in Halifax. Yo, I had the privilege of watching you grow up, soccer field, basketball field, AYBL, all the way to high school. My question is, who was your favorite referee? No, I'm just kidding. I always noticed your family was in attendance. Very big support from the Rossignol family. They support you, but at the same time, they're not like coaching from the sideline. So I like that respect. But when you get home, it's like all out chaos. Do this, do that, do that, do this. But I don't know. Congratulations on a stellar career. Very proud of you. Way to represent the Valley. Keep up the good work and all your future endeavors, all right? Peace out.
Great question from Charles. So he had a two-parter.
What was the first one?
I don't remember what the first. Oh, who was your favorite ref?
Oh, my favorite ref.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it's a tie between Charlie and David DeMerchant.
Good answer. Safe answer. And then he brought up the second point too. Like, I'm guessing you have a super competitive family. Like, not just like your aunt, your uncles too, like Mark and all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. So
They are.
what was it like at home? Were they like, should have shot that shot?
Yeah.
Or,
In high school, it was like that. When we get home, we talk about the game a lot.
yeah.
In college, they just kind of let me do my own thing, honestly.
Yeah.
The extent of it is a good job, you played great, way to shoot, or if not, try again next time. But no, we don't really talk about it that much now in college.
How many discussions did you guys have after games about defense?
In high school?
Yeah.
0. 0.
Just no discussions about defense.
No, not really.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right.
I now realize defense is a very important part of the game.
Yeah, and like now, like that's part of your role. Like you're
Yeah, it is.
You're locked down
I've gotten
defender
a
from
lot
off the
better.
bench. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, the biggest thing was I know I'm not going to beat people with my athleticism or size.
Yeah.
So I've learned to play defense like smart. Like
Yeah.
pay really close attention to like scouting reports.
And that's the thing too. Like even like sitting out a year, like you learn things. Like and as you get older, like I always said, like if I didn't play D1, I played at UMFK, but if I would have waited like a couple more years and played like when I was 22, 23 years old, like it would have made a huge difference. Like as an 18, 19-year-old, you know.
Yeah,
you
100%
don't really,
it's different.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anything you want to get off your chest? Is there anything you want to address? Any rumors? Any fans? Anything you want to just get out there? Now's your chance. If you want to break something big, this is it.
See, what can I put in the newspaper?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
That's
I don't
it,
got any
huh?
dirt.
Well, next year when you're all done playing, I got a men's league team, and we could use another
Alright,
shooter if
alright.
you want to come
I'm
play.
down to shoot always, so you let me know.
Well, thank you for doing this. I want to see if you can kind of work out a thing with UMaine where Big Time can get like press credentials and maybe like get into games. And
Hey, I
stuff
can
like
see what I can do.
Yeah, or if you can just give me my courtside seats back.
I'll try to get you a deal.
Yeah, or find some of that rare Nike UMaine gear.
Oh yeah, it's rare.
Hunt that down.
Maybe the guys have some old stuff from last year. I'll see what I can do.
Well, that's gonna do it. Our second Rossignol on the podcast this season. Maybe have a third one coming up here. We'll see. We'll see if we can make that one happen. Thank you for listening. Go check out all of our older episodes on iTunes and YouTube. That's it. And we'll talk to you next time.